deferred their option to the second half, so Michigan will start with the football. And it's Jeremy Gallen deep in the corner to bring it out. Hammered down at about the 24-yard line by Dustin Jefferson. Robinson already has more rush yards this year than any quarterback in Big Ten history. He goes up top on the first play to Roundtree. Touchdown. Brookhuizen's down the middle. Short kick comes down to Troy Pollard at the 11. He's out to the 32-yard line. Brought down by Tony Anderson. The toss to LaShore. And a first down run by Mikel LaShore. Good seal block on the edge by the wide receiver Eddie McGee. A gain of 11. Shieldhouse dumps it underneath to A.J. Jenkins, and he's tripped up after a gain of about 5 by Kenny Demens.
Down to his checkdowns, and Jenkins has been one of those guys.
LaShore hammers his way close to a first down, about a yard shot. Third down and 1. They'll try with LaShore. A little cutback, and he's got the first down. That time, LaShore stood up after a gain of only a yard by Craig Rowe. If you can, and try and win a shootout. Shieldhouse finds a wide open man. It's A.J. Jenkins, and it looks to be good enough for another Illinois first down.
And on that last play, it was execution.
Pollard close to the 26-yard line before he's brought down. Gain of 5.
A lot on his plate.
Shieldhouse can run. He's the second leading rusher this year for Illinois. And he's got a first down to about the 12-yard line. He ran for 118 yards in the win last week over Purdue. Shieldhouse, all kinds of time. Now he has to throw it away. Good coverage downfield by Michigan. The pitch, LaShore. He's strung out, and he lost a yard. Now it'll be third down and 11. Kenny Demens. Plenty of time on the play clock. Still with 7 seconds as Shieldhouse gets set for a big third down. Flag down. Shieldhouse scrambles. He's close to a first down, but this is most likely holding against Illinois. And an interesting decision as well now. Play action fake for Shieldhouse. Sets up the screen, but his back had fallen down. He was looking for LaShore. Boy, he just snuck it inside the pole. A long drive for Illinois. Gets them only a field goal. And now the Wolverines about to get the ball back. Jeremy Gallen with a flag down. Out to about the 38-yard line on the return. We also have an injured player for Michigan as well.
We do have a flag on the play.
During the return, illegal block in the back, 23 of the returning team, 10 yards, first down.
This offseason, Denard Robinson's first to carry. Lost the football. A scramble forward at about the 22, and it looks like the Wolverines got it back.
Assistant coach remaining on that staff from a year ago. Everybody else is new.
Robinson up the middle. It'll be third down at about 4. Clay Nurse tripped him up.
Martez Wilson, the linebacker, are the leaders that implement everything that Vic Koenig tries to accomplish.
Robinson, all kinds of time. Bullets one to Junior Hemingway, and it's a third down conversion as Hemingway gets out to the 34, a gain of 10. And off to Vincent Smith. He spins off a tackler. Out to the 47-yard line goes Vincent Smith.
This offensive line is what drives this offense.
Robinson caught from behind by Corey Legit, and the name says it all. Corey Legit is exactly that. He is only a junior, but he is certainly on the radar screen of a lot of NFL scouts.
Corey Legit, in my opinion, is the best defensive tackle in the Big Ten.
Smith breaks a tackle. Close to another Michigan first down.
Getting outside the defense.
Robinson pulls it under himself and spins to the 41, a gain of a couple. Martez Wilson.
And to me, I look at scoring. You know, the 19th ranked team in the country averaging 35 points a game. That is outstanding.
A drop by Roundtree. He would have had the first down easily had he held on. Instead, it's 3rd down and 8. Here comes the blitz. A tipped ball. And an interception by Martez Wilson. Tipped by Nate Bussey. Or go to uso.org. Eddie McGee in at quarterback on this play for Illinois. And he's got a deep ball wide open. A.J. Jenkins inside the 15 all the way down to the 13-yard line. Shieldhouse now back in. They'll try to turn the corner. Inside the 10, down to about the 9-yard line goes Nathan Shieldhouse.
A good story, and good to see him have some success.
The give for Pollard. He lost the football. Michigan's got it back. First and 10 Michigan after the turnover. Robinson up the seam, throws it low and throws a pick. And a flag comes out as well. Trulon Henry comes up with the interception. We'll have to check the penalty.
Is a flag on the play.
Ineligible man downfield, offense number 65. That penalty is declined. First down for Illinois.
While Michigan takes the ball away for the first time in 15 quarters. Right back where we were a moment ago. Eddie McGee back in at quarterback. On the keeper. Inside the 30, a pickup of 4 for Eddie McGee. Now it's Shieldhouse at quarterback. He'll give to Jason Ford. And Ford, more of a pound his way downhill runner. Four-man rush. The swing pass to Ford. Dodges a tackler. Dodges another. Lost the football. Craig Rowe knocked it out. This one from 43. Play clock down to 3, though. They'll either have to use a timeout or they'll get hit for delay of game.
The 25-second clock was not reset. It will be bumped to 25 seconds. There is no timeout.
And Dimke is perfect.
Not good.
After the field goal by Dimke. Jeremy Gallen to bring it back. Gets a block. Lost the football again. Another pile up. Illinois thinks they have it. Another takeaway. 4th turnover in the first quarter. Dustin Jefferson knocked it out. Ashante Williams recovered it. And Shieldhouse back to work. The give for Pollard. Nice play action fake by Shieldhouse. On the move. Flips it down the sideline to McGee. He stays in bounds. And he's got a first down. Up the middle, down to the 6-yard line. Reese goes Jason Ford. We've got a 1-point game here at Michigan, and it's been a lot of Jason Ford, a lot of Troy Pollard. We saw Mikel LaShore go over to the sideline. Ford tries to get to the edge, the cutback, and he's brought down inside the 5, but it's a first down. Ford hops up the middle. Oh, he took a pounding at about the 2-yard line. Thomas Gordon. 3 tight ends on 2nd and goal. Play action for Shieldhouse. He'll run for it, and he gets pounded out of bounds at the 2. Great coverage in the end zone by the Wolverines. Demons got the stop. Play clock down to 7. Shieldhouse, quarterback draw. He's got a touchdown. Shieldhouse under some pressure, flips it towards the goal line, and they've got it. Ryan Langford converts the 2.
They're all in the top 15, so they haven't lost any slouches this year.
Short kickoff takes a bounce. Gallen has to retreat to the 15. He's out to about the 22-yard line, and it's Illinois on top of Michigan by a touchdown here in Ann Arbor. Hand off to Stephen Hopkins. There goes Hopkins to midfield. Finally caught from behind at the Illinois 46. That's a true freshman. Maybe that settles Denard Robinson down a bit as well. Robinson on the keeper. Picks up 6.
Denard Robinson on the carry for Michigan.
He needs to get back in the rhythm of this ball game as soon as he can.
Give one here to Vincent Smith. And Smith has a first down. We talked a lot with Rich Rodriguez about Robinson.
Well, he's developing in his reads. He's able to read defenses now. Every defense has a different approach to him, and he's got to be able to adjust.
That time it doesn't adjust real well. Only picks up a yard. Akeem Spence made the stop.
The adjustments in game are critical for him.
Wide open and a drop right in the hands of Michael Shaw. And boy, he had the sideline. If he holds on, it'll be 3rd down and 9. So 3rd down and close to 10. The only big pass play that Michigan has hit was the first play of the game. Robinson to Roundtree, a 75-yard touchdown. It's been a struggle since. Play action. Robinson rolls, buying himself some more time. Tucks it under. Nowhere to go. Michael Buchanan eventually made the stop. Now it's 4th down.
It's the #1 thing that Illinois has to do today is contain number 16. Great job there.
So on 4th down, Michigan goes for it. Robinson over the middle, wide open. He's got Roundtree. Another touchdown for Roundtree.
Big play for his team.
We had a touchdown just scored on a 4th down conversion by Michigan. And now Illinois will try again. Malines from the 10. Darius Malines gets to the sideline. Great return all the way near midfield before he's finally bumped out. A flag down on this carry by Jason Ford. He hopped into plus territory, but that flag thrown at the line of scrimmage, and Mike Martin is injured.
Holding, offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
So the penalty against Illinois. We'll check on the injury to Mike Martin in a moment. This was really the only place he ever wanted to go. Nice fake by Shieldhouse, and the pitch to Ford. He's down the sideline. There goes Jason Ford. All the way to the end zone for a touchdown.
And the guy named Charles Woodson wasn't bad either.
Gallen from the 10. As Michigan finds themselves down again. And Gallen out to the 36-yard line. We've had 4 turnovers. The longest offensive play of the season for Illinois. The longest pass play of the season for Michigan. Denard Robinson back to work. Roundtree can't haul it in.
Certainly Denard Robinson can make a more accurate throw.
Robinson with a cutback. He's got a 1st down. Close to 13 yards.
Get back into the flow and rhythm of their offense.
Robinson finds Roundtree again. A gain of 9. Right up the middle goes Vincent Smith, and he's got a 1st down. Robinson again takes a pounding at about the 31-yard line, smacked by Trulon Henry, who has one of those 2 interceptions.
100 yards of offense, pretty good days.
Trap handoff to Smith. He finds a crease. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Grinded out offenses. They're under center, so he's got to get 5 or 6 yards.
Now he's going to need 6 yards after the false start.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5 yards. The down remains. 3rd.
Robinson on 3rd and 6. Wants the home run down the sideline. Diving attempt by Darryl Stoneham, but incomplete, out of bounds. 4th and 6. Robinson fires one over the middle, and that one's knocked away from Roundtree. Broken up by Pat Nixon-Yeoman, and a stop on 4th down as Illinois takes the football back. Shieldhouse with the quick pitch. LaShore back in the game, and Mikel LaShore has a 1st down.
Missed opportunity by Michigan on offense, puts their defense back on the field.
LaShore again. 5 more yards for Mikel LaShore. Demmons and Marvin Robinson combine on the stop. Eddie McGee back in at quarterback. Fires an underneath pass right to midfield. Jay Prosch, the fullback, cut down after a 1-yard gain by Cam Gordon. And now it's Shieldhouse back in the shotgun on 3rd and 4. Knocked away. Demmons got a hand in on the pass intended for McGee. We're midway through the 2nd quarter, and this is the 1st punt of the game for either team. Anthony Santella. A wobbly kick. Gallen will let it bounce. And it takes a Michigan hop into the end zone. 1st and 10 for Michigan at their own 20-yard line. And off to Michael Shaw for about a yard. We're regularly exceeding NCAA limits on practice times and some off-season workouts. Denard Robinson looks for Roundtree deep. He's got it. There goes Roundtree again. Pulled down at the 4-yard line. Trap handoff up the middle. Stephen Hopkins into the end zone for the touchdown.
Back to a tie ball game.
As Brookheim
Come onto the scene very quickly for this defense, but he wants them to continue to get better.
Robinson. Great move in the backfield to keep the play alive, and he's got Stoneham for a 1st down.
To keep plays alive, and right there another example of it.
Up the middle goes Shaw. Into plus territory for a gain of 3. Clay Nurse made the stop again. Ian Thomas on the tackle of Michael Shaw. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Vic Koenig done an unbelievable job with this Illinois defense in a short amount of time.
Robinson might try and run forward. Instead, bullets a pass to the sideline, and he's got a 1st down to Junior Hemingway. Hemingway breaks a tackle. Touchdown. Texas tomorrow at 3 Eastern on ESPN. Coverage begins with NASCAR Countdown at 2. Telecasts presented by GoDaddy.com. Troy Pollard sees that ball go out of bounds. That'll be a penalty as Michigan has the 28-21 lead. LaShore breaks a tackle, much to Reese Davis's point. Another 16 yards, chunk play after chunk play for both of these offenses. Not much there that time for LaShore up the middle. Gain of a yard. LaShore out, Jason Ford in to the left of Shieldhouse on 2nd down and 9. Shieldhouse to throw. Instead, he'll run. Very close to a 1st down. Might be a half-yard shy. Jonas Mouton.
You got to give the ball to your big back, but LaShore's not in the football game. Jason Ford's in.
Ford pounds away for a 1st down. Shieldhouse on first down. Hit as he throws, and the ball came out wobbly, and Vinipal almost ran under it for an interception. Cam Gordon got pressure. Shieldhouse down the sideline looking for the end zone. Leaping catch is made. Touchdown, Ryan Langford.
More of the offense and get more players involved.
Line drive kick, scooped up by Gallen inside the 10. They run the reverse. Darryl Stoneham picks up a block. Stoneham down the sideline. All the way to the 25-yard line before he's bumped out. Razzle-dazzle on special teams by Rich Rodriguez. If they made a mistake, they scored too quickly. Michigan back in business. Robinson pulls it down. There goes Denard Robinson. A gain of 6. Robinson a couple of yards shy of a first down, and the Wolverines might call their second timeout here. They will. So now they'll be down to 1 timeout remaining. So after the timeout, 3rd down and a long one, close to 2. Robinson throws for it, and that's almost intercepted. Great job by Nate Bussey, sagging back in coverage. He got in front. Here's Seth Brookhuizen to attempt a field goal, and he's got it. Squib kick with 37 seconds to go in the opening half, and a return out to the 35-yard line by Bud Golden. Shieldhouse under some pressure, underneath to Jared Faison, and Faison gets to the sideline and stops the clock. Shieldhouse, high throw, pulled in by Faison. Stops the clock again at the Michigan 34-yard line. With all of their timeouts, they have a fighting chance at possibly 4 more snaps. Shieldhouse tucks it under. And they will call timeout after an 8-yard run by Shieldhouse. Shieldhouse floats one to the goal line. Incomplete. Dimke is 3 for 3, and we're tied again.
Well, I think the only thing they take away from giving up 31 in the first half is they're not trailing by any points. They've been down in so many games that they're just happy that they're tied up in this ball game.
And Gallen's return out to the 40 will end the first half in a 31-31 tie between Illinois and Michigan. We start the second half. Illinois won the coin toss, deferred their option to the second half, so they start the 3rd quarter with the football. Here's Troy Pollard. Pollard out across the 40.
Everybody scored. You had a good chance to practice your touchdown call in the first half, partner.
Trap handoff to LaShore, and he only picks up about a yard. Michigan rushes only 2 on 3rd and 6. So Shieldhouse has time. Underneath, he finds McGee. And McGee reaches for the first down marker, and it looks as if he comes up about a yard short. End over end punt. Gallen makes a fair catch at the 10-yard line.
Whichever defense can come out and make the better adjustments in the second half will help their team win.
And off to Hopkins. And he picks up a couple of yards. Now this will put Michigan over 12 minutes in terms of time of possession.
That's like Oregon.
That's right. Robinson, tipped ball intended for Hemingway, almost picked off by Terry Hawthorne.
In tight windows.
Robinson under pressure, and he's going to go down inside the 5-yard line. Clay Nurse got there first for Illinois. First punt of the day for Michigan, and it comes from their end zone. Hagerup with a line drive down the sideline. A hop to midfield, Jack Ramsey. All the way back to the Michigan 31-yard line. Shieldhouse with a play-action fake. Has to escape the rush. To the sideline. And incomplete. Ryan Van Bergen was not fooled by the play-action fake. Quarterback draw for Shieldhouse. It'll be 3rd down and about 6. Mike Martin made the stop. 4-man rush. Under pressure, Shieldhouse. He'll run. And he is hammered down shy of the 1st down for Derek Dimke. He's 3 for 3 today. And he hooked it. It's just part of hanging out with Brian Griese in Ann Arbor. You get a Griese special. Roundtree breaks a tackle. We haven't seen that before. All the way out to the 39-yard line with a 1st down. Looking for big plays. This offense is about big plays, and another one there. Robinson tucks it under. Roy Roundtree, though, breaks the record set by Jack Clancy after a flag comes down on the takedown of Robinson.
After the play, personal foul, defense number 31, 15 yards, automatic 1st down. Sets them up in Illinois territory.
And off to Stephen Hopkins. And the freshman picks up 6 more yards. Akeem Spence brought him down, but what a day. Roy Roundtree is the beneficiary today. Hopkins the lead blocker for Denard Robinson, who's got nowhere to go. 3rd down and 4. Nate Bussey made the stop, but great job by that entire front 7 to string out Denard Robinson. Robinson over the middle. He's got Darrell Stoneham for a 1st down. Right there, a nice job of finding the open receiver. Vincent Smith inside the 20. Gain of 2. Shaw finds a crease inside the 5, all the way down to the 1-yard line. Oh, they'll say he got in. Touchdown, Michael Shaw. Wakazen adds the point. The tennis match continues. It might come down to who's got the ball last. Illinois, a squib kick about to get it back. Taken by Malines. Another good return. Malines out to about the 43-yard line. Personal foul called against Michigan on the kickoff return gives Illinois the ball at the Wolverine 42. Eddie McGee back at quarterback again. He'll try and do it himself. Not much there. Shieldhouse back at quarterback. Fires one to the sideline. Dropped ball. Langford. They'll call it incomplete. Oh, the crowd thought it was a catch and a fumble. 3rd and 9. Shieldhouse under pressure. Breaks a tackle in the backfield. Tries to get to the sideline. Throws one up for grabs. And it's incomplete. Broken up by Jonas Muta. And prevent the 1st down. So Santella with the end-over-end punt. Gallen lets it drop. And unable to save it was Bussey. And it goes into the end zone. So Michigan starts at their own 20-yard line. Denard Robinson runs it here for about 6 yards. He might be best known as a runner, but when he uses his legs to set up the pass, the receivers are wide open down the field, and he's been able to take advantage. Tries to throw here. Another strike to Roundtree as he continues an amazing day. And that's a 1st down. The sky is the limit for this offense. Robinson brought down by Nate Bussey. And what's interesting, Brian, is that brings to me the debate about Rich Rodriguez. Robinson finds a crease. There he goes. All the way down to the 46-yard line of Illinois before he's brought down. Great block by Vincent Smith. Because he's loosened up these running lanes by throwing it. Smith for about 3. But if you made a coaching change, do you risk disrupting what might be the most explosive offense outside of Oregon.
I think what's happened at Illinois may influence a little bit of the decision-making with respect to Michigan and finding somebody to coordinate the defense.
All kinds of time for Robinson. Goes end zone. Broken up. Flag out. Intended for Martell Webb, the junior tight end. And Trayvon Bellamy.
Pass interference. Defense, number 31. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Smith weaves his way inside the 25. Down to about the 22-yard line for a gain of 6 more. Robinson thought about the fire screen to the near side. Instead, he kept it himself. And Martez Wilson made the stop. No gain. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Big play here. 3rd down and a long 3. The ball tipped and incomplete. Catchable for Martell Webb, but he couldn't haul it in. And now again a decision for Michigan. Field goal kicking has been a struggle, or would be the longest field goal make of the season for Michigan if Brookhuizen gets it to go. And he hooked it. Jason Ford out to the 25-yard line, 3-yard gain. And that takes us under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
A lot of pressure on them.
Mikel LaShore all the way out to about the 44-yard line. And close to 400 yards of total offense in the first half alone. Crazy offensive numbers put up by both teams as LaShore picks up 4 yards. 2nd and 6. A wild backward flip intended for Ford. And luckily it went to the boundary side rather than the field side from Shieldhouse. Loss of 8 on that last play. 3-man rush on 3rd and 14. Shieldhouse over the middle. He's got a 1st down. Jared Faison makes the catch inside the 40-yard line of Michigan. A gain of 21. Shieldhouse, read option, pulls it back and picks up 3 yards to the 35. And that might take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Ray Vinipal made the stop. One more snap for Illinois before we end the 3rd quarter. Shieldhouse, quarterback draw. Hit from behind. Very close to a 1st down. In the 3rd, and it was the 7 that gave Michigan the lead. We start the 4th. Illinois on a drive. Nathan Shieldhouse down the sideline. Wide open for the touchdown is Mikel LaShore. 38-38.
Accurate throwing the football. He's smart, doesn't take undue risks, and puts his players in position to make plays.
Pooch kick to about the 25-yard line. And Michigan will have it at their own 35. That's a very good question. And talk about at least mildly dysfunctional here for the Michigan offense. A quarterback change. Tate Forcier in at quarterback. Forcier loses the football. It falls out of his hands, and Illinois got it. Well, Denard Robinson is on the Michigan bench with his helmet off. Didn't appear to be hurt after that last exchange. The option, pitch to LaShore. He's down the sideline, and he's inside the 20-yard line, close to an Illinois 1st down. So at least for the time being, Denard Robinson on the bench. LaShore might have lost a yard on 1st down. Jonas Mouton came up to fill the hole and make the stop. Shieldhouse with a flag down. Finds a running seam. He's inside the 5, and he'll be down just shy of the goal line. But there is a flag thrown back at the line of scrimmage. And this will come back.
I think they're going to get Jeff Allen, number 71, the left tackle, for a hold.
Holding. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty.
Four-man rush on 2nd and 22. Shieldhouse over the middle, right up the seam. It's facing. And he's got a first down at the 6-yard line. Gain of 23 on 2nd and 22.
This Michigan defense allowing big holes in the secondary.
The pitch to Ford. Little stutter step. No gain. James Rogers helped out on the stop by Mouton.
Whoever tackles better on the perimeter will have a better chance of stopping these teams.
LaShore right up the middle. Just moves the pile down to the goal line. And they'll mark him down at the 1.
LaShore, the ball carrier for Illinois.
It'll be 3rd down and goal from inside the 1.
See if he can punch it in.
LaShore's the eye back. They do go to LaShore, and he again moves the pile, and he's in. Touchdown Illini, and they retake the lead. (45-38) Illinois on top as Jeremy Gallon brings back this kickoff and brings it back well again out to the 38-yard line. Wow, wild day in the Big Ten, and it gets wilder here at Michigan. Tate Forcier finds Roy Roundtree. An 11-yard gain. Forcier forced to come into the game for an apparently injured Denard Robinson. That gave Illinois field position for their last touchdown. Trap handoff to Shaw. He makes a cutback and gets down to the 44-yard line.
Hit or dinged. He's had a knee, he's had a hip, a shoulder, and Forcier's had to come in and execute this offense.
Forcier will run for it, and he's got the first down with ease. Out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Vincent Smith tries the other side. Nate Bussey brings him down after a gain of a couple.
The thing that kind of exasperates Coach Rodriguez is the up and down nature of his play. Never know what's going to happen.
Pump fake. Forcier dodges a sack. Goes end zone looking for Roundtree, who got hung up with Trulon Henry.
And that's why Denard Robinson's been playing much of the year.
3-man rush on 3rd and 8. Forcier over the middle. He's got a man. It's Jeremy Gallon to the 10. Pylon. Out of bounds inside the 5.
Michigan has found something in Illinois' defense, that inability to cover this route, but there's a penalty flag on the field.
It is coming back, holding. So 3rd down and a mile now. Forcier looks down the right side for Hemingway. Knocked away. Hager up to punt for only the 2nd time. Ramsey calls for a fair catch and pulls it in at the 11-yard line. Touchdown lead for Illinois. They've got the football back, and Michigan playing without Denard Robinson. Mikel LaShore out to about the 17-yard line, maybe the 18 before he's brought down. LaShore about a yard shy of a first down. Ford depends on the spot. Right at the first down marker. First down for Illinois. Literally by the nose of the ball. Shieldhouse on a keeper. Great fake is Shieldhouse on the read option. H. Shieldhouse on a quarterback draw. Finds another crease for about 7 more yards out close to the 40-yard line. LaShore blown up in the backfield. He lost a yard. Craig Rowe made the stop. Shieldhouse will try and throw for it. Underneath, the catch made by Faison, but he's knocked out of bounds shy of the marker. Will Shieldhouse snap it?
I don't think so. They just tried to draw him off sides in a cheap fashion, then they're going to take a timeout.
And rather than waste the timeout as well, they took the delay of game penalty. So Santella launches one over the head of Gallon, and it takes a friendly hop for Michigan. Forcier under some pressure. Throws a floater to the sideline, well wide of Roundtree, with Corey Legit in pursuit. Four-man rush. Forcier again flushed out of the pocket. Throws on the run. Has Junior Hemingway. Breaks a tackle. Hemingway's got a first down. Out of bounds, close to the 40-yard line. Forcier on the read option. Has plenty of room. And he is very close to another Michigan first down. Forcier fires a bullet. He's got Vincent Smith. Forcier bounces it left. About 1.5 yards shy of a first down. But Brian, can you ask for more of an opportunity?
No, you certainly can't have a bigger stage.
Up the middle on 3rd and short, Michael Shaw, and he's got the first down. As Tommy throws another one to one of his backs, Michael Shaw.
And now Tate Forcier being in, nobody knows what's wrong with Robinson. They don't know what to think.
Forcier on a rollout. Hit as he throws. The catch made right along the sideline. Forcier took a shot, as did Junior Hemingway, and they'll give him the reception. 3rd down and 1. Right up the middle. Wide open for Vincent Smith. He's got a first down inside the 15. Again, it's Smith. Right into Corey Legit. Now it's Michael Shaw back in a tailback to the right of Forcier. Forcier looks to throw. Fires it, end zone. Hemingway, incomplete.
Should have taken the flat, stayed ahead of the sticks.
Might be a free play. It looked like Illinois jumped. Forcier on 3rd down to the sideline. Stepping out of bounds is Kevin Koger. And that'll stop the clock at the 11-yard line. A gain of only about 3.
Offside. Defense, number 93. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Forcier under pressure. Dodges a sack. Throws it to the end zone. Right along the sideline. Touchdown.
Forcier and a great catch by Stoneham.
Still 1:47 to go. And Illinois will get a chance. Inside the 5, it's Malines. Tries to go all the way across the field. Now cuts back to the near side. Ran about 70 yards and got to the 17 between Michigan and Illinois. Nathan Shieldhouse now in a tie game, running for his life. Shieldhouse up the sideline, tipped away. LaShore right up the middle, about 1.5 yards shy of a first down.
They've got to work quicker than this. They don't have that much time.
LaShore hit behind the line. He didn't come close to getting it. Santella with an end-over-end punt. Takes a good Illinois roll and will die at the 31-yard line. 47 seconds to go. Forcier slants underneath. Catch made by Roundtree. Forcier, same spot. Roundtree, first down. That'll stop the clock just for the moment. Forcier over the middle. Intercepted. Picked off by Pat Nixon Yeoman. Can they get him into field goal range with 2 timeouts? Shieldhouse under some pressure. Tripped up. And now Ron Zook has to spend one of his remaining 2 timeouts. Low snap. Shieldhouse has it. 3-man rush. Shieldhouse with a flag down. Throws it up for grabs. And it's broken up. Kovacs in perfect position.
Holding. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
What a game. Tate Forcier took over late in the 2nd half and led Michigan on a touchdown drive to tie it at 45. Now overtime begins. Forcier rolls. High and wide of Hemingway. Forcier a bullet. That one finds its way to Stoneham. A gain of only 5, maybe 6 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Forcier rolls out towards 3 receivers. Throws one into traffic, and he's got a first down. Up the middle, Shaw. And he may have gotten a half yard. Ran right into Clay Nurse. Trying to turn the corner is Shaw. He's got the cutback lane and a Michigan touchdown. Brookhuizen for the point after. They have to score to force a second overtime. Some confusion and a timeout call. Play action for Shieldhouse. He'll run it. Down to the 19-yard line, a gain of 6. Shieldhouse on a keeper. At the 10. Inside the 5-yard line before he's bumped out. It'll be 1st and goal at the 4. Shieldhouse, quarterback draw. Stopped inside the 2. Play action. Shieldhouse rolls into the end zone, and it's broken up. Shieldhouse on the quarterback draw. Reaches for the chalk. They'll mark him down shy. It'll be 4th and goal at the 1-foot line. They give it to LaShore, and he's in for the touchdown. He's got it, and we march on. So we change ends, and Illinois starts the second overtime. Shieldhouse on a throwback, wide open, same play to LaShore for the touchdown. We see it again, and Michigan can't find Mikel LaShore for a second time. 59-52. Early 4th quarter. We're not told why. Stayed on the Michigan sideline. It's been Forcier since. Forcier tries the same play that Illinois just ran. It doesn't go for a touchdown, but he finds Vincent Smith on that same wheel route for a first down. So it's 1st and 10 at the 11. Up the middle goes Smith. And he's inside the 10 for a gain of about 2, maybe 3. Nate Bussey. Play action for Forcier. Scrambling all the way back to the 23 and throws it away. Forcier, play action fake, slants one, tipped, Hemingway's got it, touchdown!
A very fortunate bounce for Tate Forcier and Junior Hemingway and a score.
Forcier on a keeper. And he picks up 8, close to 9 yards on first down, brought down by Akeem Spence. Forcier bounces it outside at the 10. That run by Tate Forcier with a flag out.
There are 2 penalties on the play. After the play, personal foul, defense number 47. That is half the distance to the goal. The second penalty is after the play, personal foul, defense number 9. Half the distance to the goal again, automatic first down.
Right up the middle goes Shaw. Is he in? No signal as of yet. Illinois thinks they got him stopped. Michael Buchanan was there to make the tackle, and they will say that Shaw is down just shy of the goal line. Forcier tries it himself, leaps, and he may have been stopped. He lost some yardage. Martez Wilson. This time it's Shaw. Right at the chalk. He's in! Touchdown, Michigan! Forcier rolls. Floats it in the end zone. He's got it again to Hemingway. Shieldhouse pitches it to LaShore, and he's cut down. Shieldhouse on a play-action fake. Throws it back. Wide open is the tight end, Evan Wilson. And he's down to the 10-yard line. Shieldhouse tries to turn the corner. He's at the 5 and brought down inside the 3. Second and goal. LaShore. He's in. Touchdown. And now Illinois will go for 2 to try and keep the game alive. Shieldhouse will try and throw for the 2. He's under pressure. Nowhere to go. Michigan wins it.
Thanks for watching Michigan Football Classics. Be sure to check your local listings for future episodes.